think that the work that we do is the instrument through which we either make a difference in the world, a positive difference in the world, or we don't. You know, and the purpose of our lives, I believe, and the purpose of being alive is to impact the world in a positive way. And so that immediately means that there's just such a powerful meaning to the work that we do. I think that it's our calling rather than our career. And the sooner we can adopt and feel comfortable with the idea of doing good while doing business, the better. And to be honest, I think a lot of this disruption is actually nature, in a way, forcing us to do that, because with disruption and demonetization and commoditization and, you know, services becoming free, it's forcing us to create something that really adds value, because people attach a premium to something that adds value and they're willing to pay for that. And it kind of sifts out the ones who are merely just out to make a quick buck and taking advantage of people. It was easier to do that before, but I think with technology and innovation and the kind of disruption that you're seeing, it's becoming harder and harder to take advantage of people, and I think that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Because it's really forcing us to really ensure that we're achieving profits, not just for the sake of it, but profits with a purpose. What grounds me and what helps me, and I certainly don't imply that I've got it right, I still have a lot of work to do, but what does ground me is focusing on the inside. So through meditation, through prayer, through spirituality, and also just recognizing the power of love. And I don't mean love in the romantic sense, obviously that's very powerful and great, but I think just the power of wanting the best for others, wanting to do good. It goes back to the idea of, even in one's work, it is love to want to do good while doing business, because that's wanting to positively impact other lives. And you know, in a traditional sort of biblical sense, treating your neighbor as you want to be treated, or loving your neighbor as you want to be loved. That is an extremely powerful force and emotion, I think, to bring into every area of life, into business, into our relationships, into our interactions. And there's a tremendous amount of peace and grounding that I've found I get personally from putting that emotion first in whatever I do. From an overall point of view, Ndalo Media's goal is to become increasingly Pan-African. We're already in 12 African countries, in fact 13, because we've just added Mauritius. So we want to be increasingly Pan-African, and not just present in those countries, but active in those countries, and become increasingly digital, become increasingly service-orientated, so offering really high-value services, increasingly about positively impacting lives, which is our payoff line. And indeed, through fashion and other areas, taking Africa forward, communicating what Africa is about. And I think part of that is the reason I'm here at NABA, is to be able to connect with like-minded people and to really start talking about and communicating about what Africa is about, what opportunities it has to offer, and how engaging with Africa is not just a good thing, but it can be a profitable and beneficial thing. The rapid growth of Africa's cities presents tremendous opportunities. I think for us, you know, whenever there's tremendous change, and I started off in the media industry, it was in the early 90s, we were just going into our elections, and that period just after the elections, and how the world had opened up for many South Africans. They could live in places they could never live in before. They could have jobs they could never have before. And that huge democratic and political change created the need for products and services to support that, an ecosystem, if you will, to help people navigate those new opportunities. And that's how True Love magazine, the original, at least the original incarnation of it at the time that the team and I were there, that's how it became successful and positioned itself as a handbook for these women. And now I think urbanization and the growth of Africa's cities is again presenting the next wave of massive change, not just in South Africa now though, but across the continent. And so there's a huge opportunity for Ndalo Media, for Destiny and Destiny Man, and our websites, destinyconnect.com and destinyman.com, and all the products and services that we have and plan to launch, to take advantage of that. And I think for many companies, I think if you see it from that perspective, that this is the change, what does it imply? There's massive opportunity. I think in order to survive now in this environment, one as a media owner, or I think the owner of any business that works with people, is to think about how are you making their lives better, and how are you adding value, and how are you helping them become better people. And in Africa, in the context of urbanization, a good place to be in is providing services and products that help people succeed as individuals and collectively in an increasingly urbanized environment.
Thought leader, our minds are awakening. Thought leader, our worlds are waiting. Thought leader, a vision for tomorrow, built on the dreams of today.